Hi everyone, welcome to the Michaels Community Classroom. Today I'm so excited. We're going to be learning how to do Tunisian crochet. So we're going to just grab our crochet hook because we're going to use just a few stitches going across. But if you're going to be using a Tunisian crochet hook, that's totally fine too. So I'm going to be showing you the Tunisian simple stitch to get started, and I'm ready to show them the hooks. So there's a different variety of Tunisian crochet hooks. This one has a stopper on the end, okay, and it's long, it's made out of aluminum. Then another style is a wooden one, which has a cable and then a stopper at the end of the cable. Now this cable is permanently attached to the end of this crochet hook. So you would be picking your size of your hook and then the length of your cable, depending on if you're making a big Afghan or a sweater or something that's bigger. So that's another option. And then there's another option as well in another crochet hook here that the cable actually comes off, okay? And so for that, you could change the size of your cable, okay? So you can just buy your hook and then different size cables instead of buying a hook with the cable that's attached, okay? So those are just a few options. So today I'm just going to be using my regular crochet hook, like I said. So if you don't have one, that's totally fine. Just going to be putting a few stitches on here. So I'm just using some Red Heart Super Saver yarn, okay? It's a pretty turquoise color. Okay, so to begin, make a slip knot. And put it on your hook. And don't worry, I'm going to show this over and over, so you guys can get it, okay? So if I'm going too fast, don't worry, I'll show it again. Okay, so just to make a chain, yarn over your hook and pull through. And we're going to chain 7 stitches. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here's our top of our stitches where the V's are. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn our work so the V's are facing down. Okay. And then we're going to come over to these bumps that are on the back side of our chains. And we're going to be putting our hook in there to pull up our loops. And this is probably the trickiest part of the whole Tunisian crochet, is getting it set up. So just hang in there. So insert your hook in that back bump like that. Then yarn over and pull up a loop. And we're going to leave all the loops on our hook as we go across. Okay, so we're not going to do anything else. If you notice, my first stitch here that I have on my hook, right here on the left, is bigger or longer than the next one. And you want all your stitches to be uniform going across around the same height. So I'm going to tug on my stitch here and pull that first one down a little bit. And then I'm going to pull down the second stitch. So now they look a lot more uniform in size. Okay, so that's a little tip there. Okay, so then go to the next stitch in the back bump. Insert your hook there, yarn over, and pull up a loop. So there's 3. Go on the next one. 4. So keep them all on your hook, and you can just hold the hook however you normally hold your hook. Pull up a loop, and now we're at our last V-stitch. Same thing, go in that last stitch, in the back bump, and yarn over and pull up a loop. So once you pick up all your stitches, it's a good idea to count how many you have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is called a forward pass. Okay, and in Tunisian, there's 2 rows that make up one row. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Okay, so you're gonna do a forward pass, and then you're gonna return and go back, which is another pass, and those 2 passes equal 1 row. So we just did our forward pass, and to do the return pass, yarn over and pull through 1, makes a chain on the edge. Okay, now we're going to yarn over and pull through 2, and we're going to repeat that across. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, until we get back to our first stitch. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and now I'm at my last 2 stitches. So yarn over and pull through 2 again. So now I have 1 loop left on my hook. So that means I've completed 1 row. All right, so we did the forward pass and the return pass. Now you can see the stitches here. They're so pretty. So we have these lines, vertical lines coming down, and then we have like a horizontal V going across in between those vertical lines underneath it too. So I really like using variegated yarn when doing these type of stitches, because it looks mesmerizing by the way the stitches are formed and how they come out, how the fabric that it makes. It's really, really pretty. Okay, so how's everybody doing? Guys doing good? All right, so I'm going to do another row, and then I'll start again and show you again. Okay, so that's row 1. So to do another row, we're going to be going underneath these vertical lines or bars, okay, stitches. So they're sitting on top of our work. We're not crocheting across the top here. They're kind of laying across the front of the fabric, okay? So that's where we're going to be working. So I have 1 loop on my hook, and that is going to count as our first stitch. Okay, so we're not going to go in that same stitch. Okay, so that's already counts as 1. So we're going to skip this one, and we're going to come over to the second one. So insert your hook underneath that vertical bar, yarn over, and pull up a loop. And I'll do it again. Go to the next stitch, insert your hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Now, as you're pulling up these loops, it's flattening out your work a little bit, and it's popping up those horizontal chains more towards the front of your work. So it's opening them up. So keep going across, insert your hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop. And again, we're trying to keep the tension of the loops that are on our hook already the same, or mostly the same. Go into the next stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop. And the next stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop. So I have 2, 4, 6. So when I get to the edge, it looks a little bit different, okay? So what we do on the edge is if you turn it towards you, there's a little V right here. So we're going to insert and go through 2 loops on the edge, like that. Okay. So 2 loops on the edge. And then yarn over and pull up a loop. And then the return pass is the same as before. Yarn over, pull through 1, and it makes the chain. And then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way across. Yarn over, pull through 2, again, pull through 2, and now I'm at my last 2 stitches, yarn over, and pull through 2. Okay, so that's how it's looking. And on the back, it's already starting to look like knitting. Okay, kind of woven. And then on the front, we have lines and V's. So let me show you on a bigger sample here real quick. So here's a bigger sample that I have worked up. And so on one edge, it has the V's on the right. I'm right-handed, so, and then you go across, and then when we make those chains, that's making another V on the opposite side. Okay, so that's why we yarn over and pull through 1 to make that chain. And then on the back, it looks like a bunch of woven loops all together, like knitting. It's so, so pretty. You guys are gonna love this, and it's so fun to make. Okay, so let's make some more stitches here. Okay, so I can go ahead and start over and show you again. And I'm also going to show you the bind off later and how to change colors too as well. Okay, so starting again. And also let me show you with my Tunisian crochet hook, because when you are using a Tunisian longer hook like this, you will be holding your hook differently, okay, than you would, like I normally hold pencil hold, right? So if I have just a few stitches on here, like you just saw, I'm just holding it normally. But when you have a Tunisian crochet hook that you're using, you're gonna be holding it differently. So I'll show you that. Okay, so go ahead, make your slip knot and put it on your hook. And you can see I'm already holding it knife hold, okay, like you would do with knitting. And that's not my normal hold, so it's a little bit different for me. Okay, so, and this hook is a little bit smaller than that hook I was using already. So anyway, so I'm going to chain 7. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we have our 7 chains. And since the loop on our hook counts as a stitch, we're not going to go into the first bump of our chain. Okay, we're not going to go right in here again, right? Because this is already the loop for that chain there. So we come over to the second bump. Can you see that? Yeah. Go in there and yarn over and pull up a loop. And again, my first stitch, it usually looks a lot larger, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten that down. And the way I'm tightening it down, I'm just pulling on that first or that second stitch. Well, I think I did too much. So let me try that again. Okay, here's 7. Rotate to the back, go in the second back bump, and I'm going to tighten my yarn down a little bit right now, just a little bit. Yarn over and pull up a loop, and now they're more the same size. But you tighten it down if it's really, really loose, and then just get them looking about the same tension, and continue on. Go in the next back bump, yarn over and pull up a loop. Go in the next back bump, yarn over and pull up a loop. Pull up. So my left hand, I'm holding the yarn like I normally would when I crochet regular stitches. It's just my right hand is holding it like this. Okay, so I have 2, 4, 6, 7 stitches on my crochet hook. So to return pass, yarn over, pull through 1, makes the chain on the edge, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way back. And this is also called a standard return pass. Pull through 2, 2 loops left, and yarn over, pull through 2. Okay. So that is row 1. And for row 2, I'm going to insert in the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Go in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Next stitch, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop. Go in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and continue across. And then when we get to the end, or the edge, I like to turn it towards me a little bit so I can find those 2 legs here, or V-stitch, and put my hook through there and yarn over and pull up a loop. So again, counting, we have 7 stitches on our hook, and then yarn over, pull through 1, standard return pass, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way back to the beginning of the row. And our last 2 here, so yarn over and pull through 2. So to make another row, insert in the next vertical bar, yarn over and pull up a loop. Insert in the next vertical bar, yarn over and pull up a loop. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. We do have some questions here though.
Okay.
Let me just take a look, and one question here is, the stitch seems to use more yarn than typical stitches, or am I imagining it?
I'm not sure about that. I don't really know.
It does make quite a beautiful textured fabric.
It does. It really does. Do we have any more questions?
We sure do. Sorry, it's a little bit of a scroll.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Do you ever turn the stitch, or is this like knitting and it has a right and wrong side?
Oh, yes. So when we're making the stitches, that is the right side, and then the wrong side would be on the back. So here's the bigger example. So this is the right side. Okay, so the right side is always facing, right, while you're making it. And then here's the back or wrong side. And they definitely look completely different from each other. I have another sample here. Okay, so you can see all these vertical lines going up here, up and down on the right. That's the front or the right side. And then the one on the left here in green is the back. And it just looks like knitting or woven loops all together. Okay, so you can definitely see a difference. They're both so pretty. Sometimes the back side of the stitches look even prettier than the front, depending on what stitch you're doing.
We have another question here from Susan as well. She asks, does it matter which direction you yarn over?
I was taught to yarn over from back to front. So that's the way I have been doing it. And I've had this question before, and I did some research on it. And if you yarn over, or yarn under, actually, this way, right? You just bring it down and then do your work. The stitches will be tighter, and you will use less yarn doing it that way, but your gauge will probably be a lot smaller. So if you're trying to meet gauge, then you should always see if they're doing yarn over or yarn under. Some patterns do yarn under on purpose. So that is an excellent question. But I learned from my grandma, and she taught me to yarn over. So yarn under is kind of a new thing for me. Okay. If you've always done yarn under, that's fine. If you know how to meet gauge and make your projects that way, that's totally fine.
There's also a question here from Kim, which is maybe a little bit related. She asked, why are her edges curling? What's causing it to curl?
Okay, so Tunisian, that's another great question. So why are her edges curling up? You can see my little sample here is starting to curl up as well. I mentioned when I started using this hook at the beginning of this little sample here that this hook is a little bit smaller. This is a size H crochet hook, which I would normally use with the number 4 worsted weight yarn. But with Tunisian crochet, it's a tighter fabric and it's more tightly woven together. So you want to go up 1 or 2 hook sizes than you normally would use for that size of yarn. And every person has a different tension or how tight or how loose they crochet. So that would be an individual thing that you would decide. And another thing you could do is you could block your work where you get it wet and then you lay it out to dry and you can pin it down and that way it will stay flat. Okay, that's another option. So curling is definitely an issue with Tunisian. And not really an issue, but it's a concern. It comes up a lot. Those are good questions, you guys. Anything else?
So many more.
Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah, I think this is like a really exciting new skill for many in the class today. So I'll start with the most recent question. Deborah asks, what hook size are you using?
Okay, the one I'm using right now is a size H crochet hook. 5 millimeter.
Could you maybe talk a little bit about the difference between a crochet hook and a Tunisian hook?
Sure. Well, the difference would be that you could see how much longer it is. Okay. And you can see that the Tunisian hook is the same diameter all the way down. Okay. It's the same size all the way down, so that your stitches, say you were making a huge project or a bigger project, you'd have stitches all lined up across here, right? So they'd all be the same size. Okay. But if you are using a regular crochet hook, you wouldn't necessarily be able to put too many stitches on there, okay, because you only have a small area to work with. And it has, some crochet hooks have a thumb area, so the size might be affected a little bit there. Okay. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think so. Thank you.
Okay, great. Now, well, one more thing on that. I'm looking at my other hook here that I showed you earlier. So if you are using one with a cable, then the stitches, the stitches would be on the actual cable instead of the crochet hook, because this crochet hook is about the same, it's like, yeah, about the same size as my regular crochet hook, right? So you're thinking, so as this fills up, then you would just push them off onto your cable here. And depending on the size of your cable, your stitches would stop here at this little stopper. Okay, that's what that's for. So your stitches would land up against the stopper here, and they won't fall off the edge of this cable. So that's another thing to mention, I guess. Okay. Let me see. So how are you guys doing? You guys making your little samples? Cool. All right, I'm going to do one more row here. So, and then I want to show you how to change colors. So just the same thing over and over. Just find your vertical bar on the front of your work and yarn over and pull up a loop. So here's my next one. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull up a loop. And if you're not sure if you're at the edge or not, you can count your stitches knowing that we should have 7 here. So I have 6. So now I know, okay, I need to go to the, turn to the side and go through those 2 on the edge. You can see that nice chain it's making up the side. Okay. And then yarn over and pull up a loop. So that's number 7. So another issue that sometimes comes up is sometimes there's a big gap between your stitch on the edge and then the rest of your fabric. I know when I started learning this, that happened to me a lot, and I thought, oh, that's just how it is. But you can make it tighter right here. So what I've learned and what I do now, so yarn over and make your chain as you normally would. But when you do this first yarn over, pull through 2, if you pull it just a little bit tighter, okay, so yarn over, pull through 2, and you just made a little chain right there. If you just make that little chain a little bit tighter, and then as you continue on, then you make them all a little bit looser. And then from here on, they're all the same size. If you're coming into that issue, then that's how I would fix it. Okay. I hope I'm not confusing you. So this first chain right here on the edge, right here. So I'm going to switch hooks again. I'm going to use a different hook. It's going to be a size K, a wooden K hook. And to change colors, what I like to do, if you change colors on the return pass, get my hook in there. Oh. Hang on 1 second. Sorry about that. Computer was going to die. I thought I plugged it in. Okay. So I'm putting my work back on my hook to change colors. So I have yarn over, pull through 2. And now on my last 2 stitches before my last yarn over, that's where I'm going to yarn over with my new color. So just put that over your hook and then pull through 2. And then tighten down your original color a little bit to make that chain right there. And then just let them drop to the back for now, the tails. And now your first stitch is already in your new color and you're ready to start crocheting and picking up your stitches with your new color. Isn't that cool? And then on the edge, same thing. Go through 2 loops on the edge and then yarn over, pull up a loop. And return pass, standard return pass, yarn over, pull through 1, and yarn over, pull through 2. Again, I pull this one a little bit tighter, and then yarn over, pull through 2 just naturally with the same tension going across. And yarn over, pull through 2. Do you want me to show you the color change again?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. So I just have my yarn in my hand and leaving a tail, maybe about, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches. And just drape it over your hook and pull through the last 2 stitches on your return pass. And then you have your new color ready for the next row. Now my other color, original color, is kind of loose right there. So I'm going to pull it down just a little bit and get everything ready to go across. So drop the tails and just working with my next color, go under the next vertical bar, yarn over, pull back through, and pull up that loop. Go in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and pull up the loop. Yarn over, and pull up a loop. Okay, and we're almost to the edge. Okay, 2, 4, 6, and then going through 2 on the edge. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Okay, so for the standard return pass, yarn over, pull through 1, and then yarn over, pull through 2, and then make it a little bit snug right there. And then yarn over, pull through 2, all the way across. Trying to keep tension the same. Isn't that pretty? So I'm going to do another row of this color, because that way the V's will pop up. You see them popping up?
Caroline, you spoke earlier about a front pass, and I'm wondering if you could tell us a bit more about that. We've got a couple of questions asking whether to turn the work.
Okay, yes. Okay, so right now, when you're picking up your loops and placing them on your Tunisian crochet hook, when you're picking them up, that is called the forward pass. Okay, so right now I am doing the forward pass. Okay, and there's no turning of your work in this lesson. We're always having the right side or the front of our stitches are always facing up to us. Okay, so this is a forward pass completed because I picked up all of my 7 stitches. And then for the return pass, we're going to go back and reduce all of these stitches off of our crochet hook until we have 1 left. So the forward pass, picking up, the return pass, taking them off.
And you've got 7 stitches there. Should we always work with an odd number of stitches?
No, I just started with 7 because I was thinking it would fit onto a regular crochet hook comfortably. This is just a little sample. You can start with an odd number, an even number. It doesn't matter.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Last question here is, what type of yarn are you using?
Oh, sure. This is, I'm using Red Heart Super Saver. This is a number 4 worsted weight yarn. This color is Aruba Sea. And I have just a little bit left of a Red Heart Super Saver. This is a buff Fleck, I think the name is. Also number 4 Red Heart Super Saver. It's very, very pretty.
The buff fleck almost has like a bit of a tweedy look, doesn't it?
It is, exactly. It's got little specks of color. Very, very pretty. Yep. So I want to show you the bind off here coming up. But okay, so did I answer the question okay for the forward pass, return pass? Are you okay with that now?
I think so. That was amazing. Thank you.
Oh, okay, awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to go return pass back to my beginning here. So yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, a little bit tighter right there. And then yarn over, pull through 2 all the way back. Okay. So to bind off your stitches, okay, so if you're looking at your work, you wouldn't want to just end off right here and be done with your work, right? Because you have these holes or gaps across that last row that we just completed, you see? So the row isn't actually finished, okay? So to bind off, what we do is, it's called a Tunisian simple stitch bind off. So we're going to do the exact same thing. Okay, so yarn over, insert into that next vertical bar, yarn over and pull up the loop, just like before, okay? Same exact thing. The only difference, we're going to slip stitch it right off of our hook. That first stitch that was right there. Okay, I'm going to show you again. Okay, So I just ended my row, and now we want to bind off. Go in the next stitch, and we're going to do a Tunisian simple stitch, just like we did. And then we're going to slip stitch. So just keep going and pull it through the loop on your hook. Okay, makes a little chain on top. So we're going to have chains going all the way around our work when we're done. So go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, Tunisian simple stitch, just like before, and then slip stitch. So just keep going and pull that loop right on through. So in the bind off, we're not keeping the stitches on our crochet hook. We only have one live loop at a time when we're done. So go to the next stitch, Tunisian simple stitch, and then slip stitch. And we're back to one loop on our hook again. Go to the next stitch, Tunisian simple, and slip. And then the next stitch, same thing, simple stitch, and pull through the loop on your hook. Okay, so now we still have one on the edge to go. It's easy to not complete the edge, so because it kind of looks like it could be done right there, right? Like you're done. But remember, we have those two loops on the edge that we want to go in as well and finish that off. So go into those two loops on the edge, or that chain stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop like before, and then go ahead and slip stitch. So now we've completed the bind off for all 7 stitches. And then we have that little V going all the way across the top and down the side, across the bottom, sorry guys, my computer's frozen. I'm not sure what's going on with it.
It's okay. I think we've got you again there now.
Oh, okay. My computer screen is still frozen. I can hear you though. Can you see my hands?
Yep, we can see your hands.
Okay, all right. So I'll just keep going. So do you
Hi, sorry, Caroline. I think we might have lost you again there.
and then slip stitch. Go in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then slip stitch. And go in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and slip stitch. And once you get going and you're making a bigger project, it's and then just slip stitch that right off. All right. Isn't that pretty? Here's the back. And then you could just end off these tails here and weave them in. All right. So sorry, but my screen is still frozen, so I'm not really sure what's going on with my computer. Okay. So do we want to learn another stitch, or do we want to review what we've learned? Okay.
Looks like we've got votes
everyone
for.
wants a new.
Yeah, another stitch.
Okay, I see that coming in on my phone. Okay, so how about knit stitch? Knit stitch is very similar to Tunisian simple. Instead, though, the only difference is where we're going to put our hook. So if you're looking at the stitch, I'm sorry, I can't see my screen, so I don't know what you're seeing here, but you want to insert your hook between that front vertical bar that we've been going under, right? We've been doing this. Well, instead of that, we want to go from front to back and then grab the yarn and pull up. Okay, so there's a little stitch in the back and there's one in the front. We want to go in the center of those two stitches. So put your hook through there and yarn over and pull up a loop. Okay, and it's going to make it look like a knit stitch. So this is where Tunisian crochet looks a lot like knitting, and in the knit stitch it looks pretty much exactly the same. Okay, so then go in the center and yarn over and pull up a loop. Go in the next stitch, and you're going underneath that vertical or that horizontal bar as well. Pull up a loop. Okay, go into that stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. You see how it's making those V's going across? And then the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. And then same thing on the edge, always going through 2 loops on the edge, yarn over and pull up a loop. And then the return pass, standard return pass, always the same. Yarn over, pull through 1, makes the chain, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way back until you have 1 loop left on your hook. Okay. And then to make another row, we're going to do the same thing. You just go in between, going in right here, and then right here. And you're going underneath the horizontal bar going across, or the chains. So going down, yarn over, pull up a loop, and yarn over, pull up a loop. And this hook is bigger than the one I made down here, so these stitches are bigger. Pull up a loop. This is a
Carolyn, I don't know if you can hear me, but it looks like we lost sound. 1 second, everyone. It looks like we're having technical difficulties. Carolyn, I don't think she can hear me. Just a moment, everyone. One second, everyone. Looks like she's connecting to the audio on her phone. We lost her front-facing screen completely. Carolyn?
Hello?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, my computer just lost a Zoom call.
Yeah, it just completely kicked you out, but we can hear you now if you want to continue the class,
Sure.
and we'll figure out the ending.
Okay, no problem. Sorry about that, you guys. My computer just totally went out of Zoom. I'm not sure where I lost you, but I was doing the knit bind off. So I'm doing the knit bind off. You do the knit stitch just like before. Okay, so now I can see. So insert and then pull up a loop. And then just go ahead and slip stitch it right off. Okay, and then on the edge, same thing. Pull up a loop and slip stitch. All right. Sorry about that, you guys, if we're having technical difficulties. I know we had high winds here and a storm, and the internet was going in and out all day yesterday and last night, so I'm not sure what's going on with it now. Okay, so the purl stitch, how much time? Okay, I can do a real quick purl stitch. Oh, you don't, okay. Purl stitch is a little bit more difficult. What you do is you put the yarn in front of your hook and you bring it down, and then you go into that front vertical bar, and then you bring the yarn down and around and yarn over and then pull through, and it makes a little knot right there underneath your hook. Okay, that's more, I think, of an advanced stitch. It's definitely a fun one though if you can practice. Okay, so bring the yarn in front of your hook, okay, and then come down to your stitch, and then wrap the yarn around your hook, and then you can take your thumb and hold the base of it to make it easier to bring your hook through that stitch, and then you can tighten it down a little bit. Okay, again, bring the yarn down in front of your hook, insert into the next stitch, wrap the yarn around your hook, grab it with your thumb to hold it, and then pull your hook through, and then tighten it down a little bit. Okay. Knit stitch is very pretty as well. You can do a lot with the knit stitch, and you can combine different stitches, Tunisian knit, Tunisian purl, Tunisian simple. Oh, but then when you get to the edge, you just do a regular Tunisian simple stitch. Okay, so you start off your row with a regular, excuse me, your loop is already on your hook, so you're not going to do a purl there, right? So you start without a purl and you end without a purl. So the purls would just be in the middle. All right. And then standard return pass. So there's lots of beautiful items you can make with Tunisian crochet. No, the return is not always standard. You can just follow different patterns. You can make different designs by alternating your return pass. I have an example here of that. So by doing a different kind of return pass, I have a spall cloth here that I made chain loops coming back in the return pass. So Tunisian, there are hundreds of options and stitches and ways that you can do it. So this is just a real basic overview, okay, of what you can do. Tunisian simple, Tunisian knit, and Tunisian purl. I know I didn't go over the purl very much, but there's lots of tutorials that you can watch on that. So I know we're getting close on time. Is everything going okay?
Yeah, thank you so much, Caroline. That was so inspiring. I wonder, I'm not sure without your face camera, whether maybe you could just tell us a little bit about some of the projects that you've made.
Oh,
A little bit
absolutely.
more? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I have. Okay, so I'm sorry I don't have my other screen, but I have the new yarn by Karen Cotton Ripple Cakes. This color is so pretty. This color is called Plum Fade, and I'm using this yarn. It's got a little bit of texture to it. It's kind of varies, and I'm making a shawl with it. Here's a little sample, and this is the back. Let me hold it up closer. So you can see this is Tunisian simple stitch. Okay, this is the back side where it looks woven, and you can just see the color changing in here on its own. So I'm not cutting the yarn. I'm just keep on crocheting and enjoying the rhythm of it. Let me show you the front. So here's the front side. You see all the little vertical lines that we just made? Isn't that fun? And then the horizontal the horizontal chains going across. Isn't that pretty? And then with this mauve color, I'm going to do a decorative edging around the whole entire shawl. So that's one thing you can do. I also have the Spa Cloth series on my website using the Lily Sugar and Cream yarn by Yarnspirations. All 21 cloths were made with this yarn, this brand. And I have lots of different stitches and stitch combinations that you can do. We also had a crochet along that you can take a look at as well. The patterns are going to be free and always available for you. And be sure and go to michaels.com to get all your yarn for all these great projects. So I hope you guys had fun. I'm sorry I can't see your projects. I wanted to see them at the end, but my computer went down. So maybe we can have another class and do some more Tunisian. So if you guys enjoy the class, be sure and give a good review. And I would really appreciate it. If you're here after the fact on YouTube, please give it a thumbs up. And I had a really fun time showing you this. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much, Caroline. I can tell everyone absolutely loved the class. They're certainly saying so in the chat. That was marvelous.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. All right. Thanks for crocheting with me, you guys. Have a great day.
Thanks for joining us today for this live community classroom. We would love to see your work, so please share your work with hashtag MakeItWithMichaels and hashtag Yarnspirations. And just a reminder that you can find more classes on michaels.com and the recording from today's class at michaels.com/classes. Thanks again, everyone. Thanks, Caroline.
Okay, thank you. Bye.